Sukkot or Sukkot, in traditional Ashkenazi pronunciation Sukkos or Succos, literally Feast of Booths, is commonly translated to English as Feast of Tabernacles, sometimes also as Feast of the Ingathering. It is a biblical Jewish holiday celebrated on the 15th day of the month of Tishrei, varies from late September to late October. During the existence of the Jerusalem Temple, it was one of the three pilgrimage festivals, Hebrew, shlosha regalim, on which the Israelites were commanded to perform a pilgrimage to the temple. Sukkot has a double significance. The one mentioned in the Book of Exodus is agricultural in nature, Feast of Ingathering at the year's end, and marks the end of the harvest time and thus of the agricultural year in the land of Israel. The more elaborate religious significance from the Book of Leviticus is that of commemorating the Exodus and the dependence of the people of Israel on the will of God. The holiday lasts 7 days in Israel and 8 in the diaspora. The first day, and second day in the diaspora, is a Shabbat-like holiday when work is forbidden, followed by intermediate days called Kohamod. The festival is closed with another Shabbat-like holiday called Shemini Atzeret, 2 days in the diaspora, where the second day is called Simchat Torah. The Hebrew word Sukkot is the plural of sukkah, booth or tabernacle, which is a walled structure covered with skak, plant material such as overgrowth or palm leaves. A sukkah is the name of the temporary dwelling in which farmers would live during harvesting, a fact connecting to the agricultural significance of the holiday stressed by the Book of Exodus. As stated in Leviticus, it is also intended as a reminiscence of the type of fragile dwellings in which the Israelites dwelt during their 40 years of travel in the desert after the exodus from slavery in Egypt. Throughout the holiday, meals are eaten inside the sukkah and many people sleep there as well. On each day of the holiday it is mandatory to perform a waving ceremony with the 4 species. Origins. In the Book of Leviticus, God told Moses to command the people, "On the first day you shall take the product of hadar trees, branches of palm trees, boughs of leafy trees, and willows of the brook." Lev. 23:40, "And you shall live in booths 7 days. All citizens in Israel shall live in booths, in order that future generations may know that I made the Israelite people live in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt." The origins of Sukkot are both historical and agricultural. Historically, Sukkot commemorates the 40-year period during which the children of Israel were wandering in the desert, living in temporary shelters. Agriculturally, Sukkot is a harvest festival and is sometimes referred to as Shag HaAsif, the Festival of Ingathering, as it celebrates the gathering of the harvest. Laws and customs. Sukkot is an 8-day holiday, with the first day celebrated as a full festival with special prayer services and holiday meals. The 7th day of Sukkot is called Hoshana Rabbah, Great Hoshana, referring to the tradition that worshippers in the synagogue walk around the perimeter of the sanctuary during morning services, and has a special observance of its own. Outside Israel, the first and last 2 days are celebrated as full festivals. The intermediate days are known as Kohamod, festival weekdays. According to Halakha, some types of work are forbidden during Kohamod. In Israel many businesses are closed during this time. Throughout the week of Sukkot, meals are eaten in the sukkah and the males sleep there, although the requirement is waived in case of rain. Every day, a blessing is recited over the lulav and the etrog. Observance of Sukkot is detailed in the Book of Nehemiah and Leviticus 23:34-44 in the Bible, the Mishnah, the Tosefta and the Jerusalem Talmud and Babylonian Talmud. Building a sukkah. The sukkah walls can be constructed of any material: wood, canvas, aluminum siding, sheets. The walls can be freestanding or include the sides of a building or porch. The roof must be of organic material, known as skak, such as leafy tree overgrowth, shock mats or palm fronds. It is customary to decorate the interior of the sukkah with hanging decorations. The 4 species. Special prayers. Prayers during Sukkot include the reading of the Torah every day, reciting the Misf, additional service after morning prayers, reciting Hallel, and adding special additions to the Amidah and grace after meals. In addition, the service includes rituals involving the 4 species. The lulav and etrog are not brought to the synagogue on Shabbat. Hashanot. On each day of the festival, worshippers walk around the synagogue carrying their 4 species while reciting psalm and special prayers known as Hashanot. This takes place either after the morning's Torah reading or at the end of Misf. This ceremony commemorates the willow ceremony at the temple in Jerusalem, in which willow branches were piled beside the altar with worshippers parading around the altar reciting prayers. Ushpizen, a custom originating with Lurianic Kabbalah, is to recite the Ushpizen prayer to invite one of 7 exalted guests into the sukkah. These Ushpizen represent the 7 shepherds of Israel: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Aaron, Joseph and David. According to tradition, each night a different guest enters the sukkah followed by the other 6. Each of the Ushpizen has a unique lesson which teaches the parallels of the spiritual focus of the day on which they visit.